That play from Harry Grant, that was insane. Now, it absolutely burned me to my core. I only had the one player in this game, and then going to extra time was so rough. And then for Harry Grant, probably the highest owned out of the guys there that I didn't have, like Edwards, probably Eli Katoa, higher ownership, but Edwards and Grant and Munster, or like not a crazy ownership. So to see that was wild. But I think the biggest thing about this, yes, extra time, but to do it and go untouched against the Panthers, who've won, all these years in a row now, was the craziest part. So he's an absolute maestro. The tackle numbers for him, 58 there. And yeah, didn't get to run the footy too much. Just picked his spots. He had one really good run later in the game. Picked up that tackle break and then an offload in there as well to then get that try at the end. Very, very impressive. And I thought this game as a whole, this is going to be very close to at least a prelim or a grand final type of match. And we will expect that come the end of the year. For those that stuck the captaincy or stuck with Nathan Cleary, I think it was about 13% of the top 1,000. It worked out swimmingly. 78 for him, 50 at halftime. And the Storm, made their comeback, which was really good. And 29 tackles, 4 misses. He was getting right involved on that side, kicked plenty, got that try of a nice assist from Edwards there as well. So did it all across the board and picked up 3 goals in the process. A great score, not crazy, enough, no ton to make it super scary, because we know that Payne Haas and Terrell May can hit this number as well and are basically almost averaging this. So yeah, great score as captain as well. Dylan Edwards, 76. I thought he was absolutely tremendous in this game. His running was off the charts. He had that try assist as well on the right hand side, which was really good as well. So 288 run meters, 3 offloads, 9 tackle breaks to go along with a couple of line breaks as well. And that one that he took, that big bomb, so the kick defusal there to then run sort of 40 meters, make that line break. I thought that was a real turning point in the game. And yeah, the tough transition moment in this one was the Blaze Talangi error. Unfortunately, just sort of panicked a little bit and just was a little bit, a little bit lax on that one. With how well he's played the last few months, I think that was more of just a young player's learning curve, especially against Xavier Coates, who's just an absolute freak. Hey, this is his best season by far, I think, in regular season footy, and what he can do in Origin and stuff like that as well. I just think he's taken his game to another level. The chase down from Casey McLean, that was such a fun moment as well. 2 absolute speedsters going at it, and yeah, he almost got him there. So 2 tries and the try assist for him. He has had a tremendous run, and surprisingly enough, he's all the way back at his starting price at 450. So the thing with Xavier is that I feel like every time my partner watches him play, she thinks that he's the best player known to man. And I agree. Every time she watches him, he scores a double, has a try assist, or does something crazy. And maybe if anyone wants to jump on, I'll make sure that she can watch all of the games, because I think he averages like 50 plus and scores crazy when she's watching. So Edwards was a massive one. I actually told people that Wishart was the safer play, and then if you could loop Edwards, like if you were deciding who to loop in this game, I was thinking that Edwards was the correct play, but he was spectacular and picked up almost 120 in Supercoach as well. Nick Meaney moved back to centre and just was great in this game. I thought he was tremendous. This second half was just an absolute killer for my team. Guys like Eli Katoa on 20, Grant on 25. Cleary slowed down. He was the only one to do so. Edwards was on 29 in that time as well. So a massive second half for Ellie, with the turnover, the offload, and also the line break assist. It was a great pass as well for Nick Meaney, I believe. Yeah, that's the line break that he made, but 45 tackles. He's getting involved there and didn't look as great running the footy, but it was probably more to do with the fact that the team he was coming up against is a little bit stronger. I just can't believe that Grant could get through that easily untouched. Like, you expect it probably against, lesser teams, Titans, Tigers, Cowboys, all these types of squads. But the deception, the ruck recognition is incredible from him. Now, Ellie, awesome pick. And if you've jumped on there, he's been great the last 3 weeks since Hughes has gone down. He's really stepped up and just worked hard with his base stats. It's been great. Trent the Hero, 70 minutes for a 60 for him. After that shocking game, he has been back to some good form. Stefano, just 4 games in a row now. I think the first time of his career. Congrats, Stefano, for doing that. 48 minutes to get the 57 was awesome. And it wasn't in his power game. It was through his base stats of 38 tackles. That was great. Sorensen looked much better off the bench there and got that try assist from Edwards. Isaac Tungol's had a good couple of weeks as well. 54 from him. This is kind of what we used to see from him, and we are getting a little bit more regularly here. I know that one he was trying to milk the penalty. No good there, but Mosley Otto, good score there. IPAT with a 53. God, we've got through so many players and we're still in the 50s, which showed in the end a tremendous fantasy game. And a lot of time it is that way. Hey, if it's a closer game, you get a lot more scores over 50, especially if you've got a collection of good players. They get themselves up for these type of clashes and go out and do the job. IPAT there, so got the try early. Just 45 minutes from him, even with Liam Martin coming off. So looks like he'll be sitting somewhere in this 45 to 50 minutes, even with Isaiah Yeo out. So that's a frustrating one, but he's scored really well on both occasions. And then Wishart 50 with 2 try assists. The tackle numbers are there. The run meters are there. Didn't kick as much as we would have hoped. Jonah Pezzett ended up being and playing the 7, which does make sense given Wishart is more of a 6. So that was a little bit annoying for Wishart owners, but he got a cracking 50 and you loop that every day of the week. And Lindsay Smith, a 48 for him. And it's crazy the work that Liam Henry gets through. 49 in 33 minutes. Absolutely insane. So yeah, Lindsay Smith, good minutes there. And scoring just slowed down a little bit in the back half. You can still see we're still near the 50 mark, and To'o was 47. Seve with his first try in a good while there, and welcome back with the goggles. That was so good to see. Pezzett, the cash down, 40. We should only see him in that starting side just for this week only, with Munster hopefully going back to 6 for owners of him after the experiment at fullback. Did get that line break late, and good run meters, still kicked the footy in the second half and got the 5 tackle breaks. But yeah, when he's not going to get that base in tackles, it does make it a little bit harder for him there. No base in tackles and then lower kick meters than he normally would. Yes, the run meters are up, but when he's not getting the attacking stats at fullback, you much prefer him at 6 every day of the week. And against a tougher opponent in the Panthers, that's kind of why they changed it. They didn't want Joe Chan defending at centre, and so they moved Meaney back and then pushed Munster to fullback just for this game. So maybe if it was another clash, they would have left it as is with Joe Chan at centre, with Pat being out, but hopefully he does return next week. Slightly unconfirmed, but it sounds like Latrell might be out as well with some back issues. Haven't got clear articles on it, but there's been a couple of tweets, and it sounds like Wayne said that he is out, and Cody Walker's going to play off the bench with his calf, coming off his calf injury. So take that with a grain of salt for now until it definitely comes out. But it looks like NRL Physio just put in his broadcast channel as well that Latrell was out. So I imagine the full extent of it will come out soon, but super frustrating if you are buying him. Potentially consider reversing that if you can. Hopefully you didn't go yo to him, which I imagine there are people that did out there. So Munster 35, just a little bit annoying. He should go back to 6 very soon and be fine. As I said with Talangi, I think he's really grown into this role perfectly. Just unfortunately in these types of games, I think this is going to help him and the team so much because he's got that crap play out of the way now, and then he should be sweet coming into the final series. He'll know the different types of plays that he can make and when to just hold on to the ball, and I think that was a massive learning curve for him. And unfortunately, he ended up in a loss, but could have been the win with that that field goal. And there's a bit of conjecture on that, isn't there? Because they wanted to stop the blockers right up on the defense on the next to the hooker, and he's back in sort of a catching position. So what if they passed it to Leota? That's a normal hit up position for him. So and then just slightly drifted to the left, but Grant ran the long way around just to run into him. So it was pretty interesting, and tough loss to swallow. But thankfully they've won 9 in a row and ended up in a good spot. And then Jenkins there with a 30 in this one, and Casey McLean. I think both those guys have had a cracking season, and it's awesome to see. Like McLean's so young too, so young. And then Joe Chan with a try assist and a try, I think he's having a really good season. Runs the footy well and defends generally pretty good there as well. So that's that first one for the week, guys. We've got tonight the Warriors and the Dragons, and then you've got Roosters and Dogs. So 2 pretty fun clashes. I think they'll be pretty close as well. So if you're sitting at home tonight for some footy, enjoy that. Hopefully it's a little bit less on the weather side. A little less rain would be nice. And looks like we should get that for now for the rest of the sort of weekend. Maybe Sunday we get a little bit, but I think Saturday and Friday should be pretty good. I did end up captaining Payne Haas, by the way, and haven't used a trade as yet and just have Cleary on my side. So a great average so far, but I know a lot of people that have 2, 3, 4 plays in that game. So really, really good start, and I think my rank has doubled. So we'll leave it there, guys, for Thursday night. Hope you enjoyed that game. That should be close to the best game of the week, and hopefully your fantasy players do well.